And so that's what,
Professor,
yes, Louis.
I'm sorry. So you post the feedback on Blackboard.
The feedback is no, only my video that I'm giving. I've given you grades.
Okay.
And the grades are on Blackboard, Louis. So yeah, your grade is up there and everyone else's grade as well. So you can check that out when you log in and so forth. But what I'm saying, Louis, is that throughout the semester, I'm going to go, when I look at your work, I'm going to say how much I think you could tweak it. Some things I feel are completely done and thumbs up for it. But if I think you should tweak it a little bit more, I will give you that feedback. So after today's session, we'll go to the collage. So we'll continue on this conversation with web design. I know that I often get cut off, so I want to jump right into it. So web design is something that is really important for you to understand, and which is why we're moving on to talk about it. And what's important to do is, because of our time frame, this is not a web design class. So I'm not going to be asking you to design a web page. I'm asking you to find already existing designs, and you, with your creative analytical decision making, you're going to decide upon what is going to be in the best interest for a nonprofit organization. So a lot of nonprofit organizations, unfortunately, do not have the capital to often invest in good web design. Some of them do because they've gotten smart and savvy and they've found templates. And the thing that's important to understand is that there are a billion, and I can say billion, there are a billion templates and designs. So it's really important that you understand as a graphic designer is that you can change things up and utilize what is existing. We kind of call it our mashup, right? We all know what a mashup is. Well, you can do that with web design. But then you can also think out of the box as well. But I am not asking you to do that. I am just letting you know that that is what web designers do. So sometimes you don't have to recreate the wheel, because some things just need to be straightforward, and a lot of clients tell you what they like and what they want to see, basically. So I'm going to show you some interesting sites, and I'm going to show you lots of resources for you to choose. So basically, what is needed for next week? On your concept page for web design, right? The part, concept is first, then there's progress, and then there's final. You're going to choose a nonprofit organization. And what you're doing, we want to try to think about the fact that you're going to simulate a presentation to the board of directors on what you think the web designs should look like. Now, if you have an organization that has a very nice website, right? And you can't see how you could improve upon it, what you can do is you can create an event page, like a donation page, or, you know, an event page. And that's usually what nonprofits have. They have an event, they have a donation page, whatever it may be. You could think of a page on that concept. Or maybe it's a product. Maybe it's a new app. Maybe it's a new t-shirt. Something that nonprofits always need to do, a new membership page. The point to be made is a lot of times websites are not well designed for nonprofits, and this is when you can jump in and present what you think would be in their best interest as far as the design is concerned. So when you do a presentation like that, first of all, when we say one web page design, because of our iPhones, the mechanical, the functionality of a web page is basically scrolling. So we call them 3-screen designs. And 3-screen designs are basically a header, which is the very first page, and that will have the logo and the navigational bar. We often call it menu. Then it will have a content page in the middle. And then they have a footer page on the bottom. We're going to talk about those two things today, this morning specifically. And so we're looking at only 3 screen designs: the header, one content, and then the footer. So footer used to be a page that we would throw away. Sometimes they still are. Sometimes they're very minimal. Maybe they have a copyright. Maybe they have the social media links. But now, today, they are becoming much more informational, much more designed to help customers. If they cannot find it on the first page, they could scroll down, such as contact, help, support, all of these things that are back-end services that nonprofits give as well. Here comes Splashy for us. So anyway, so it's only one, it's not a website, way different, right? It's just one web page design layout, which is going to have a scroll, and you're going to find existing designs and choose which one you think is best for the nonprofit.
Professor?
Yes, Louis. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I have like 2 little questions. I know you said next week, or is that due next week, or is that due Thursday? It says Thursday on here.
Yes, Thursday.
Okay. And
That's
then
this Thursday, this coming Thursday.
Okay, and then so we can look up any page. Is there like a list of pages that we go on? I'm a little confused on that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to get to next.
Okay.
I'm going to show you the resources, but I want you to see what the deliverables need to be on your concept page. So you're going to choose one layout, and I've given you these 4 resources, Louis.
Oh, so we're kind of making it then.
You're going to choose an existing layout.
Which is one of those 4.
Right.
Okay.
On one of these 4s, there's like 100. 100 web page designs. So remember, as I said, there's a billion. There are a billion web design out there. You're going to choose one. And the important thing is that it's 3 screen designs. So I'm going to show you when we talk about screen designs, because what we're talking about is web. This is what we call web language, web talk, web industrial vocabulary, shop talk, so that you understand the meaning of working in web, because it is so incredibly important today. So you're doing it for one company, one nonprofit organization. Remember to bring in their logo. They will have a logo. Sometimes the logo is type. It's a typeface. And then be sure to include a link to their site, so that when you're presenting, you're going to the actual site and you're showing us how you're going to create a new page for them. Again, it could be a service page, it could be a product page, it could be an event page. A lot of times things do change up, and as you see sites, they do, because they want to keep you engaged. The other important thing is to pick up their mission statement, 2 or 3 sentences. All you have to do is copy and paste their language into your page, because that's an important thing. That is influencing your design decisions. The target market. Is it for children? Is it international? Is it environmental? Is it, a lot of students have asked me, can I take a commercial business that creates solar panels? Yeah, you could. So the important thing is to be able to know that you're presenting your decision about web design And again, as I have always said, anything that's visual has 5 colors. So if the logo has a dominant color of blue, then you'd be going to the Adobe Color. And remember that Adobe Color, just to show you. So if we went to Adobe Color, and remember this, I will show you this again in Photoshop, because it is in Photoshop. This is a social media site. This little white arrow, triangle here is what we call choosing that dominant color. So if the dominant color of the logo is blue, then I can come over here and choose and decide upon the 5 colors that would be complementary. Now again, you can change any of these colors by creating custom. So if I didn't like, let's see, if I didn't like this color, then I can come over here and I can begin to change it. That is why we love this website. So it's important to know that, that this is where color decisions are being made. Get back to where I was. Okay. So this is what, in most cases, you are going to be presenting. And so again, all of these, and I'm not going to click them because I'll let you peruse them on our break time. And what I want to do is talk a little bit about what web design entails. And that's why I have this up. This is a design that somebody did, and I was so happy they did, because it really helps you to understand the difference between the two worlds. So UX stands for user experience. UI stands for user interface. So the two of them work hand in hand. But UI cannot exist until UX has decided upon what their needs are. And this wireframe prototype is a little bit about what we're doing in our assignment. You're choosing a little bit of the layout. Information is what people who are in business, people who are in psychology, people who are in computer sciences, that is what we call information architecture. It's a sitemap. A lot of this used that we're doing right here on the left side is what we call interactive design. It's widely used in game design. It's widely used in informational sites like manuals or catalogs, people who shop. All of this is what we experience in our daily lives quite a bit. So there is a whole industry of individuals who are at the top end right now in the UX, UI production phase of products. And the products are delivered online. Obviously, we're not talking about chairs. We're not talking about physical products, but a lot of them actually do follow UX, but more in a 3-dimensional way, not 2D like in screen experience. And as you notice, there's lots of career opportunities. Research, interaction design, as we say here, prototype design, and information architecture. Once this team has decided, this wireframe goes over to UI, and then the graphic designers and the designers decide upon what is best. So designers may say too much copy. It's gonna look too busy. It's gonna get confusing. And so often designers understand UX, and often UX understands UI. So it's really in your best interest to always have design skills. And that is along the lines in engineering, as well as in graphic design and things of that sort. And that's why Steve Jobs really transformed our computer experience, because he was a visual designer. And he said, why can't this computer be fun and interesting and engaging? Because it wasn't. It was very clunky. It was not fun to look at. He changed everything. And that changed it for us. So this is something that is really valuable when we talk about this. Now, it gets very detail oriented. And obviously, we're not going to be spending a lot of time on this because it is a digital imaging course, but I want you to understand how you, as a digital imaging designer using Photoshop, have to be able to understand when somebody's talking about prototyping or talking about interface design or copywriting and things of that sort, because you will be involved in this. And that's kind of the exciting part, is that it's a very collaborative environment, and it's a fun environment. It's one of my favorite reasons why I loved the studio work that I had done, making lifelong friends and being very highly creative and highly challenged. So there are a lot of things that you have to understand. So this is a website that John Mader is created. And it is a site that gives you just about everything. And so when we see this, you know, these are all things that we call dynamic that moves. And that's why, you know, that just took over right now, just to let you know. And so when I scroll this, you see a lot of individuals doing what we do, working on laptops, working on workstations, but there's a lot of collaboration working on things like this. And just to give you an idea, you have the Adobe Creative Suite, the program called XD. Adobe XD is a board like this, where you can begin to work out the designs and strategies of how to create web pages. And web pages on this is what we call responsive designs. It's interesting that more people are on their mobile phone than they are at a computer workstation. So that means you really have to be able to design for both worlds. And the worlds are is everyone. Every industry is using web design. And as you can see, these are all Photoshop pictures. All of this content came from Photoshop. So for instance, there might have been, you know, something here in the page and the shot that the art director didn't like. That could be removed by someone who knows Photoshop. This is what we call a footer. So as you can see, let's just talk about screenshots. So right up here, this is the header. This is the top screen. And as you notice, this is, if I refresh this, the screen is revolving. It's changing up. In fact, it's going to move in a second. But what they've done, instead of giving you that traditional navigational bar, they've given you this to pull out. Now, the thing that would be interesting is to go to this site on your mobile phone. What does it look like? So here is what we call a screen design. This would be screen design here. Oh, let me go back. This would be screen design here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it really comes about here, you see, on this. What I love about what they did on this, they're so smart, is that they put these, you see these color bars, these horizontal color fields that are here and on the bottom, that helps you to know that there is more to be seen. So like that is cut off, so you know to scroll. So I'm only asking you for 3. The home page, 1 middle page, one screen, middle screen, and then the footer screen, which is down here. And the other aspect is that you're choosing it from existing designs.
When you say existing designs, like those people talking right there, that's an existing design?
Now, an existing design is like this. Let me go back to where I was here. On here, let's look at HTML up, okay? These are the 4 resources I've given you.
Oh, okay, that's what you meant, okay.
Yeah,
Now,
so I'm gonna go here. So literally, it's like shopping. You're choosing the design that you like. So you can, and the way to do this is to capture your screen. So I'm on a PC, and I know my capturing tool is Snippet, right? On a Mac, it's Command 3 for a crop. Oh no, I'm sorry. Command 3 is a whole screen. Command 4 is a crop. You could do the whole screen and then crop it in Photoshop. So let me just show you. So this is a phenomenal site. I use this site when I teach web design.
Are those posted to like the web layout things already?
Yeah.
I was just looking. I didn't see it.
Wait, Louis, what was your question?
Like the thing to get to the 4 different web pages layouts?
It's on my site.
I didn't see it. Maybe I got to refresh your page.
You got to scroll down to web design. So on here, let me just show you on this. So what it will give you is a live demo. So you click this. Now say I like that, right? And here when you scroll, maybe I don't like anything else. There's the footer. So I'm going to go back. Say I just got the home page. And maybe I want doing a live demo here. Let's see here. Maybe I like this to be the middle screen. So I could capture this. And I'll check out, look, they don't even have a footer. Go back. But let's look at some other sites. So Squarespace. A lot of you should be familiar with Squarespace. Here are templates. And they even give you the industry. Talk about user design, right? So now welcome to going to their site. You can also, this one here, that's just gonna take you, they're asking you more things about what they do. WordPress, I've given you a site that is specifically nonprofit. And what I liked about this one is it shows you this 3 screens. So here's one for charity. Screen 1, screen 2, and the footer. Here's the child guardian, 1, and just 2. So you can see how a lot of them have one screen because they want to, hopefully, that you will be clicking. The other one I've given you is what we call the Oscar Awards for web designs. It's called the Webby Awards. So this one I've given to you. The funny thing about this site is I think it's a terrible website. It's very confusing. And here it is, the Oscar of web design. But it's an incredible resource for web pages and web designs. So it's a really go-to place to see something live to be sure that the designs that you have chosen is what you like. So these will give you the sites to look at, and it goes through the years, literally. So you can see a little bit of the evolution of design. And the interesting part about this is, as the web design started back in the 90s, we're kind of going back to that style. It evolved into one style that was really discouraging people using the website. Now it's come back to design. So these are for you to be able to utilize. The other aspect is here, as you can see. See if this is going to open this up. Where did you go? Go back. Did you find it, Louis, right down here? Oh, I switched that up on there. So this one here, I broke that link on there.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I'm on your page. I'm just trying to find that thing where you had the 4 web layout.
Keep scrolling down. You see where I am right now on mine?
Let me see. Yeah. No, for some reason, I don't have that on my thing.
Why don't you refresh your browser? You may have a old
now
cat.
I got it. I got it now.
Okay, good. Yeah, perfect. And that can happen easily on there. Yeah, this was this is not. I'll just zoom this in.
No, you're fine. I leave everything uploaded. I'm scared to X out something and lose the page, so I keep it all.
Yeah, this is not getting as big as I like. I had this bigger, but anyway, this kind of gives you an idea of how you design what we call responsive. This is what we call a workstation, very, very large. This is a laptop, a tablet, and responsive. We're only designing for this. Okay, that's all we need to be concerned about. But things begin to look very simple when you do a mock-up and sketches. So it's something that you can do, and as you notice, these are just really rough. This looks a lot like what they said here, which is a wireframe prototype. So I do have 4 minutes left. I want to show you a site that I love, simply because it makes you very, let's go back and then go here. So this has been around for some time, and it must be very successful because they haven't changed it. We all, I don't know if everybody loves chocolate, but I know I do. And why do I love it is because it really shows you how important Photoshop is. So on this one right here, it's going to change, and it's automatic, it's programmed to do that. So it's always, this is what we call dynamic. And what you're looking at is that would be a blur on that last page. This would come in from, that would be a blur. Okay, so this is going to be a loop for me. So in other words, all the graphic that you see over here on the left would be created in Illustrator. Things like blur, like this, could have been a photo shoot in focus, but somebody could have more than likely had it go blur. So it's important, and then a lot of things could have been eliminated or added to what they needed to do. So, and when you scroll, it's like it's endless. Lots of Photoshop work. All these are layers. Definitely different, they probably have different textures. Can they go back? No. And see, now it's going to the scroll. I'm going to come up here. And just to show you all the different ones. So photographers that do food products, or what I was going to show you in the background here, look at the designs. These designs would have been created in Illustrator. So there's lots of things to be done within graphic design programs, primarily in Photoshop and Illustrator, and then composited in programs like XD, InDesign, even Illustrator, and so forth. So I only have 1 minute left. So when we come back, we will utilize the ability to talk about the assignment and talk about the progress on your collage. So we're going to continue working on the collage today, troubleshooting any questions that you have. We'll probably share your screen. But things that I wanted to show about is on this one, this is how we work in most web designs or in most productions. User tests is when we're getting the end user to use it, but that's in engineering too. So research is really important to sort of look at your nonprofit organizations. So if you choose a nonprofit organization, oh, I'm 1 minute, I'm gonna totally get cut off, I know that. I get the hook in the stage. So I want you to, I'm gonna stop sharing and know that when we come back, our time schedule, as always, just log in and I will, have questions about the midterm evaluation and email me to schedule any Zoom meetings. And then we'll continue talking about your progress. So I am going to assume I'm going to get cut off, so I'm going to wave right now. All right? And I love seeing your finals, everyone. I can't tell you how appreciative I am that you did the work and we're moving forward. So anyway, we're going to end and we'll see you soon. Okay.